Hello, guys. Welcome to another episode of the e-commerce lab by Ecomcy, the place of air related to Amazon, FBA, Parallel, and e-commerce. My name is Vincenzo Toscano, founder and CEO of Ecomcy. And today we bring another special guest. His name is Bobby Peloquin, and he's the strategic customer success part of the team at ChannelEngine, where they specialize on everything that has to do with, going multi-channel when it comes to as an e-commerce brand. And that's why I wanted to bring Bobby today because when it comes, especially to our listeners and the one watching today, most of you are Amazon sellers. And the reality is that we see how Amazon is getting more and more competitive, more saturated. And solutions such as a Channel Engine are definitely a must because, especially if you're trying to figure out other marketplaces that, most of the time, even the way you set up an account, how you create a listing, how you do advertising, how you deal with the logistics can be very daunting. And the fact that now is so much easier is definitely a no-brainer and no excuse, right? So I guess Bobby, thank you so much for your time. It's a pleasure to have you here today on the show. How you doing?
Yeah, thanks for having me. Great to connect again.
Thank you.
All is
Thank
well.
you for being here. A pleasure. So I guess for those that might not know you, if you don't mind, just give us a quick introduction about yourself, the company, and then we can talk about today's topic, which is all about going multi-channel, how things such as solutions such as Channel Engine can help us, and go from there. Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm Bobby Peloquin. You did a great job with my last name. Most people mess that up. Awesome. So my background, I've been in the digital and e-commerce space for over 20 years. I spent 11 years working at Nielsen, the big TV ratings company out here, working with big agencies doing their advertising research. And then I got involved with Retail Data Partners, where I took over the CEO role. Retail Data Partners was the first company to develop Amazon 1P tools in the marketplace many years ago, way back in like 2016, 17, when no tools were available. I came on board, a partner, a friend of mine was a co-founder. I helped him transition the company to a SaaS company. They were a boutique agency. So that was about 2021. And then we were building Retail Data Partners up until 2024 when ChannelEngine acquired us in May of 24. So it's been over a year now. Quick year, wonderful year working with the ChannelEngine team. And I am still more focused on the Amazon side. So we are primarily focused right now on the recovery management side and then content management. But I also work with clients, helping them to onboard to new marketplaces, as you mentioned, not to put all your eggs in one basket in Amazon. So that's a little bit about me.
Awesome. Thank you. So I guess based on everything we just briefly discussed, around your expertise, of course, and everything you guys do at Channel Engine, uh, that brings me to my first question, which is, why go effectively multi-channel by being an Amazon brand? Like, I know that's everything you guys do at Channel Engine, and it's something that I would say, is a must for most brands because we are seeing how competitive the space is getting. So, I guess with the conversation you have with clients at Channel Engine, like, what are some of those initial motivations usually that bring people to use solutions like yours?
Yeah, I think the hard part is just, the people are a little bit concerned and scared of going into new marketplaces because they either don't know it or it's another dashboard they got to learn, or five if they want to go on five different marketplaces. And that's where we can just really help make it easy to transition, add new marketplaces, identify marketplaces that might be profitable for them or that we feel they should be selling on.
Yeah.
And I think now, especially after the last couple of years, we've all seen Amazon. If you're a 3P seller or a 1P seller, for example, they can just tell you, we're not going to sell you, you're not going to be on 1P anymore. You have to go to 3P. So, I think over the last year or two, we've really seen a lot of clients want to diversify. They know there's a lot of sales and profit to be made on other platforms. It's just, how time consuming it is. I've come across some clients with challenges like they have certain products that they don't want to sell on Walmart, but they want to sell on Amazon. And we really just make it easy to do that, essentially.
Awesome. So I guess something that I'm very keen for people to learn today is, at the end of the day, you guys at Channel Engine have such a variety of marketplace that you can expand into, right? You have like pretty much the whole kind of inventory of opportunities that you have in terms of expansion. So when it comes to the decision making, like, do you see usually people when start using Channel Engine going and deploying across all markets, or usually you see clients, trying a few depending on the type of product? Like, what is usually the best plan of action there? Yeah.
Yeah, I would say it's going to depend on the product. So, certain products are going to be good to sell on like a Macy's or a Lowe's,
Mm,
where some clients are not going to be selling on those marketplaces. And that's where we have a really experienced team that can help identify marketplaces. At the end
cool.
of the day, it's always up to the client if they want to sell on that marketplace. But we are connected with over 950 plus. That counts.
Nice.
So we count Amazon as like each region is a marketplace. So, but there's still like hundreds of marketplaces, and that's where we can help either make intros, identify where you potentially could be selling. We also get requests from our partners, from marketplace
Hmm.
partners. For example, I had a client that Lowe's reached out and said, "Hey, we've identified this as a good opportunity, to sell in our
Mm,
marketplace." So yeah, we really try to help our clients, guide them the whole step through the whole process, and then of course onboard them. I would say our tool is most effective when you have at least like three. If you have three different
nice.
marketplaces that you want to sell on, we have some selling on many, and then some are
Okay.
smaller that just want to test a few and do three,
Yeah.
four, or so.
Yeah, which actually was going to be my next question, which is when do you know a solution such as this is actually good to implement? Because some people might think, maybe I need to do this from day one, or people think, I need to have certain volume to actually maximize the tech behind what you guys offer. So is there a specific time where it will make sense, or not really? Like what is your experience when it comes to that?
Yeah, I would say it's more like if you're back to that three, if you have three different marketplaces, because
Mm-hmm.
it gets hard to manage, right? Whether you're pushing content or you're doing your pricing or inventory management, when you have one, it's a little bit easier to
Yeah,
manage.
yeah.
That said, we do have Amazon specific tools that I think
Okay.
if you're just on Amazon vendor, we have some great tools to help automate the recovery side. So dispute and shortages, price discrepancies, which is a huge nightmare. It takes a lot of time. We also have content management and monitoring tools on the Amazon side. So depending on the brand, if it's just Amazon 1P, we have
Yeah.
great tools to help with that and save a lot of time on the recovery and content side. And then yeah, I'd say in the marketplace, if you do have, you're looking to expand to at least two, but ideally probably three plus.
Cool. So when we start doing this expansion to ChannelEngine, like what are some of the things in this case the seller will still have to keep managing in house? Like for example, what about for example the advertising? What about optimization on listing images? Like to what extent sellers will have to have also some kind of resources internally? Because I might also think I'm most like people listening and watching today might think, yeah, I want to expand to all the markets you guys have to offer, but what if maybe I will have to do things in house that then it will just 10x my work
Yeah,
and then I
right.
cannot
Yeah,
keep up.
exactly.
So how you handle that? Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, great question. So we don't do anything with advertising. So that would
Okay.
be something that the brand would have to do. Our core focus is going to be content management. So,
Okay.
having your catalog pushed to all marketplaces without having to go in individually. You can
Yeah.
easily copy paste it to the other marketplace, push it.
Nice.
We help with the pricing. So pricing across all of them, and then inventory order management. So that's a big one, really understanding, and that it also includes returns. So
Hmm.
inventory order management, returns. We also have the sales analytics. So if you want to look, who's profitable and who's performing, we have a nice dashboard show you quickly where those sales are coming from. And then, yeah, I'd say those are like the core areas of focus. But there would be, you still have to do the advertising part and drive some
Yeah.
sales. But when it comes to managing just, the rest of the business, that's where we can really, really help.
Cool. And I saw actually something very interesting on your website, which I would like to go a little bit deeper because this actually applied to a lot of Amazon sellers we even work with, which is a lot of sellers don't only have 1P, but they might have also 3P, right? And sometimes they will have to kind of combine all that together, which can get very messy very fast, right?
Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
and I saw you guys call that kind of hybrid selling, which is something that's becoming more and more common, especially on Amazon, because a lot of people sometimes are getting fed up with vendor, they might change to seller, vice versa. So where for example ChannelEngine comes into the equation when it comes to how you guys make a difference on that as well.
Yeah, I think on the hybrid selling, we're still getting there. Like our goal is really to have this one, tool to be able to really
Nice.
understand the profit loss, everything that's happening with both your 1P and 3P. Right now, it would be more focused on that content side. So pushing the
Cool.
content on the three, because on the 1P side, the core tools we have available right now are going to be just content management and monitoring, and then the recovery side. Where on the 3P side, we have all of the marketplace things that I just told you. So like the pricing, the inventory order management, things like that, and the content.
Yeah. Okay.
So they help push the content, get more data from the 3P than we are 1P technically. Yeah.
Cool. So now when it comes to the content side of things, actually, which I think I'm very keen to understand this more. How are you guys, for example, when it comes to, you mentioned that big by synchronizing content across multiple markets. How you guys make sure that this is also within terms of condition across all markets, following guidelines, because each market is a minefield.
Great question. Every market's different. One might have, this has 100 characters, this one has 150 allows. Yeah, everyone is different, and that's where we can really help. So our tool is constantly, anytime a marketplace changes their rules or terms, we update that. If you're on Walmart versus Amazon, and Walmart has a different, limit of characters or whatever that restriction is or difference is, our tool knows that. So we're essentially able to just take all of that content across the different marketplaces, and our tool is kind of basically essentially handling that part where we know all of the different requirements for each marketplace. And then we essentially make it very easy for our clients to not have to worry about it.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah. And now this also brings to the question pricing, because I'm sure, and especially you that you spend so much time in the Amazon ecosystem, pricing it can also to some extent create issues back to Amazon if you start having different prices on our platforms and everything. So how a solution such as this also help you avoid things like that and keep a consistent pricing across all of them as well?
Yeah, so we do have a dynamic pricing tool, and essentially it's going to, you're going to be able to call out that price that you want to be selling your product for, and our tool is going to do the rest. Obviously with Amazon, that is, a little tricky. You want to be careful not to be really low on Walmart or eBay or somewhere else. Amazon probably won't be thrilled with that. Our tool really is going to handle it all, and you're going to go in there and choose your pricing, and it's a dynamic pricing tool that makes your life a little easier.
Cool. Now, other things when it comes to market expansion, which is something a lot of sellers struggle with, is cross-border as well, right? Because you're going to encounter that some marketplaces might be available in France, but they're not available in Spain or USA, Canada, and so on. So when it comes to this cross-border, also keen to hear from both fronts, like from a ChannelEngine perspective, and also your expertise in terms of what you're seeing, like what are some of the procedure people should take in consideration, because we already talked about there's certain things you have to consider when going to multiple marketplaces, like at least a good benchmark is if you already have 3 to 5 marketplaces to get started, that's a good kind of green light that it's a good it's a moment to jump on board and use a solution such as ChannelEngine to do expansion. But what about cross-border? Because we know cross-border can trigger other things, like from a taxes perspective, from a compliance perspective. So what do you usually advise on that side as well?
Yeah, so this was a little again, I'm more on the 1P side, unfortunately.
No
I mean, a lot of clients that are, especially in Europe, obviously you have Bol.com, which is within Amazon in certain countries. You have all these different, smaller marketplaces. Each country is a little unique. And I learned all this as I got years ago when I first got into, the Amazon space and seeing all these different platforms. But we have a lot of our clients are based in Europe, being a European country. So we have some clients that are, it just really depends on the brand and which countries they want to be in, which marketplaces. Of course, we help them identify these marketplaces. But it's something we work with our clients to identify, what makes the most sense based on their business, their everything in the back end that they have, their logistics, their shipping, partners. So it's nice. We have a really
because I see you guys have the whole ecosystem, which is actually very helpful. Is because I can see you have also a lot of kind of partnerships. So it's not only about the integration itself, but also connecting with the right kind of expertise to have that kind of cross-border expansion happen. Yeah.
And that's something we do a lot. So we're really big into partnerships. We've made
Yeah.
some great partnerships across the globe with a lot of these well-known companies. And if it's we're always helping our clients, whether it's introducing them to a shipping partner or
Mm.
whatever it might be that we don't handle. We have a lot of great contacts that we bring into the conversation if needed.
Cool, cool. Now another thing, going back to the one piece of things, which I'm keen as well for all our listeners today. Like, given that you also have spent so much time with one piece sellers, and you also know the pain of it, a one piece seller.
Yeah.
Like, what are things you would say, are a huge added bonus by using solutions such as ChannelEngine, things in terms of, because a lot of one P companies usually tend to be very
Mhm.
big, and they might decide to do everything house or have their own kind of spreadsheets and things like that. So give
Yep.
us also what are some of the other perks that maybe we didn't cover today that you think, like, if you're a 1P brand, like, this is definitely a no-brainer.
Yeah, absolutely. I think there's a handful of them. People that are selling 1P listen to this. I'm sure they're smiling and saying there is definitely a lot of challenges with Amazon when you're selling on 1P and I guess 3P as well. I would say the two big ones are the one, the areas we focus on. So recovery is going to be a big one. Clients are I had a call just before this one, and they're doing it manually, literally spending hours and hours trying to get shortages and price discrepancies and different charges back from Amazon. Amazon makes it really difficult. It's something that takes, like I said, if you're doing it manually, you waste a lot of time, and then you don't always get your money back. So a lot of times they deny it. You have to dispute it
Mm.
a third time. And that's where our tool just makes it really easy. It takes seconds to do something that takes hours. So we help, just identify, okay, well, how big of a problem is this? For example, we had a client recently that had $2.5 million in shortages, and we got back 2.4 million. I mean, they didn't
Wow.
know they really didn't know how big of an issue it was. We did an audit, and these numbers were just really big. It's a ton of money giving away free stuff to Amazon. So on the recovery side, that's definitely one of the big headaches. It's my favorite thing I've ever been a part of because everybody's happy. They get money back that's rightfully theirs, and they save a ton of time. And they can focus. Not only do they take that money and invest in the business to grow the business, but then they're also just able to save that time and use it more wisely to help build a business. So recovery for sure. And then content management and monitoring. So a lot of, everybody I speak with typically has this issue where your content just doesn't match what you submitted, whether
Yeah.
it's variations. I think the variations is probably the biggest. I've had,
Yeah, no, big issue.
yeah, everybody knows this. Variations is Amazon knows it. They say they're doing things about it, but it doesn't seem to be helping. I think that, just monitoring your catalog, any decent sized catalog is almost impossible to do manually, right? And we help just be able to identify that. Again, variations, I think, is probably the biggest one. Images is pretty big. One story, I have a client that when we first built this tool, a client asked us to build it because they said it was their number one issue growing on Amazon. The
Wow.
advertising got conversions, dropped off. But then what happens is all the reviews get split up. So the reviews get
Mm.
split up, hurts the bestseller rank, which was really important for them. So that I think is the biggest issue. I've heard stories, images. I've had images, clients where
Yeah.
they images in one region in a completely different language put on the US account or vice versa. So any of those, challenges, both of those challenges, I think are the biggest right there is content and recovery, I'd say, which is why
Cool,
we're
cool.
focused on that right now. Yeah.
And just for people to know, when it comes to this, I guess it's not limited to any specific kind of region. Like, this could be also be outside of the United States as well, right?
Yep. So right now we're connected with in North America, so U.S.,
Okay.
Canada, and Mexico, and then Europe, all the main European countries. We do have
Nice.
plans to expand to. We've had some requests, one or two requests for Japan, so we're looking at adding that maybe
Nice.
next year. And then I think the Middle East has a lot of potential. The Middle East seems to be growing, so we're looking at a couple different areas. South America, of course, but Europe and North
Cool.
America we have covered. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Awesome. And I guess to start coming to a closure with everything we've been discussing, I mean, what other things you feel beyond, of course, 1P, because I can see you guys offer, a variety of solutions for not only Amazon sales, but sellers across other marketplaces. So what are things you think would be beneficial for people to know in terms of, added value that you guys can bring to a table, either from a technological point of view or also from a partnership point of view? What are things you think would be a highlight for to bring our today's episode to a closure?
Yeah, I always say, if you are on Amazon 1P, do an audit, even if it's not with
Mm,
us, your competitor, do an audit, figure, just verify how much you have outstanding, because Amazon does allow you to go back
mm,
5 years. We've actually seen some clients get 6, 7 year disputes back,
no.
which typically you get those denied, but we saw quite a
Yeah,
bit
yeah.
over the last few months. So I always say get an audit. And then on the channel engine, the marketplace side, uh, if you're looking to expand, I think we're the ones to talk to. We can, definitely walk you through the process, talk to you about different marketplaces, our experience, what we see with other brands, whether it's success or challenges. I had a call recently where they wanted to integrate to Wayfair, and we had a really
Mm.
candid conversation. We shared some good stories, we shared some bad ones. So, I think our experience can really just help guide through the process of choosing those marketplaces and identify where you guys could, where a brand could potentially be successful. And then
Awesome.
on the 1P side, we do have a lot of, we have a robust product roadmap for next year. And if anybody has a problem that we can potentially solve, we love solving problems. So reach out and, we can potentially build that for you.
Cool. So tell us more about how people can find you, and also, either book a call or and get started with you guys, where people can find all the information.
Yeah, our website, channelengine.com, has links to contact support. My email is going to be my name, so bobby.peloquin@channelengine.com. And yeah, somebody will get right back if it's through the website, or if it's me, I respond. I work all day and night, all hours, so I'm usually pretty quick to reply.
Awesome, Bobby. So it's been a pleasure. Thank you so much. And as I said, like, this is a topic that definitely should be in everybody's mind. Like, expanding to other marketplaces. Channel Engine is definitely one of the top solutions out there to make it happen. But other than that, I appreciate your time, and hopefully I see you soon.
Yeah.
One of the upcoming events. Yeah, appreciate
Thank
it.
you so much. I really appreciate it and look forward to connecting in person. I hope to be out in Europe at some point, if not this year, early next year. So I plan on taking a trip to London and love to
Cool.
meet. Yeah,
Awesome. Let me know. Let me know. Let's keep in touch. So have a good one. Yeah. Take care.
you too.
Bye bye. See ya.
Cheers.